Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about Palantir Technologies' PLTR stock and how it could be a $1 trillion company, which would ignite the share price to reach $447 per share, which is a huge increase considering right now it's only trading for $19.71. So if you want more videos on Palantir Technologies and their PLTR stock, don't forget to go and annihilate that like button right now. Subscribe if you are new. Don't forget to become a member of this channel for as little as 99 cents per month, because that's what keeps me here on YouTube, so I can make more videos just like this for you. And with all of that being said, I say let's jump right into today's stories. Palantir Technologies, as you probably know, is a big data analytics company that serves both commercial enterprises as well as government agencies. And recently the spotlight has been on Palantir's PLTR stock, considering their vast potential in regards to artificial intelligence as well as machine learning. However, this has been a very bumpy ride so far, considering that with the combination of their very high valuation and unrealistic investor expectations, on top of macroeconomic headwinds, Palantir Technologies' PLTR stock got knocked down in their share price to where they lost 84% of the stock's value. And while it was falling, I was encouraging investors to look into this company for themselves because it was going to surge back upwards, and that's exactly what has happened. The stock has done phenomenal year to date, and it has made investors loads of money, and that's why in 2023 we are seeing a huge acceleration in the adoption of generative artificial intelligence, which has caused Palantir's fortune to expand, and it has put investors in good graces considering that they have more than doubled their money year to date for this company. Right now, Palantir Technologies is worth and has a market cap of around $42 billion, and today we're going to talk about how that $42 billion market cap could surge up to $1 trillion according to this article, and then I'm going to add my own thoughts and opinions. So let's talk about the company and how they could become a $1 trillion company. Palantir has had a very long record of success, so it's not surprising to see this company go even higher in their overall share price over the next few years or the next few decades, especially since artificial intelligence has been the talk of the town for quite a while now, and how it has expanded Palantir's market opportunity. However, even though artificial intelligence has been the talk of the town in 2023 heading into 2024, Palantir has been developing artificial intelligence technology for decades. For instance, Palantir's AI systems go back to 2003, meaning 20 years ago, where Palantir was creating artificial intelligence platforms to assist the US intelligence community, defense contractors, as well as law enforcement agencies. And Palantir's artificial intelligence platforms aren't just for the government and government agencies, because they also have another segment which would be their commercial enterprise segment, to where they can use these same AI algorithms and they can retrain them to interpret business data, which will help organizations and corporations predict customer preferences, calculate product demand, and allocate scarce resources to get the greatest return on investment for those companies. So it's really good how Palantir has two main business segments, one being their commercial segment and the other being their government segment, to where I believe their commercial segment will eventually bring them in more revenue than their government segment. Currently, their government segment makes up the lion's share of their revenue. However, I do believe that as they continuously scale in their commercial segment, that their commercial revenue will outpace their government revenue. But as Palantir continues to expand, they will have more and more commercial clients, which will make this company a $1 trillion company eventually, according to this article. But regardless of that, whether or not Palantir is working with commercial entities or government entities, it ultimately will save them money, and it will allow their customers to make data-driven decisions. So right now, let's talk about Palantir's long history with artificial intelligence tools and how they could use this to become a $1 trillion company. And no one really knows how big the artificial intelligence opportunity could actually be in the market. For instance, Cathie Wood of ARK Investment Management, also known as ARK Invest, suggests that the AI opportunity for software alone could be worth around $14 trillion by 2030, which is crazy. Meaning that if Palantir could obtain just 1/14 of this market, they would be well over a $1 trillion company. However, we also have other Wall Street estimates from analysts from Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, which calculate this value to be closer to $6 trillion to $7 trillion respectively by 2030. But either way, even if we take the low-end market valuation for artificial intelligence of $6 trillion, this would put Palantir Technologies on a trajectory to achieve a $1 trillion market cap, according to this author. Given Palantir's expertise in the area, they are leagues ahead of any of their competition, which would include heavy hitters such as Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and many others. Therefore, Palantir is positioning themselves, due to their expertise and their market-leading position, to profit from their next growth phase, which could potentially make them a trillion-dollar company over the next decade. Like we said earlier, the company is currently trading for $19.71. If you want to look up this company, their ticker symbol is PLTR, while the company name is Palantir Technologies. So, over the next 12 months, we have an analyst named Daniel Ives who believes this company could surge up to $25, meaning that there is still a huge potential upside in this company in the short term, but over the long term, this author believes this company could surge up to $447, which would be a ballpark estimate of their share price if the company were to reach a $1 trillion market cap. So this then begs the question, where can this company go from here? Well, I'm glad you asked. The company is currently forecasting their full year revenue for 2023 to be around $2.2 billion, which is their midpoint guidance. And that would equate to less than 2% of the company's total addressable market, which was estimated to be around $119 million as of right now, meaning that they have a lot of growth to do considering that they are only scratching the surface of what they could potentially achieve. However, the news gets even better because this $119 billion calculation did not take into consideration artificial intelligence or machine learning. And that's why a Wedbush analyst named Daniel Ives, who is a very prestigious analyst, has now estimated that Palantir's total addressable market is in the ballpark of $800 billion. So let's break this down. If Palantir Technologies is able to capture just 7% of this market annually, which is a pretty conservative estimate, their revenues would quickly expand up to $56 billion over the next 10 years. And this would roughly generate $14 billion worth of profit for this company, which would be phenomenal. Now, how do we get to that $1 trillion market cap? Well, this is where I'm going to depart from the author of this article. First, I'll tell you what he says, and then I will add my own thoughts. He says that since Palantir currently trades for 78 times their forward earnings, this will ultimately push the company to a $1.1 trillion market cap over the next 10 years if we use their current forward earnings and we multiply that by their operating profits. However, let me chime in here and be the voice of reason. This is not a good assumption. It's very illogical. Palantir holding a 78 times forward price to earnings ratio for the next 10 years is not realistic. Ideally, investors would want this metric much lower, meaning that as Palantir continues to scale their overall earnings, this ratio should actually drop and not maintain itself. So therefore, I am departing from this author. I do not think Palantir will reach a $1.1 trillion market cap over the next decade because this assumption of them keeping their current PE ratio of 78 times even while their revenues are scaling up to 56 billion and their earnings are scaling up to 14 billion is unrealistic. Essentially, as Palantir continues to grow these metrics, this is going to move this overall accounting ratio regarding their PE downwards. So it's going to drop to around 50 times or even 25 times, which means this company becomes more digestible for investors, which ultimately should stabilize their share price. So no, I do not think that is a good assumption for this article. However, I do want to say it is a possibility, a very good possibility, in fact, that Palantir could hit a $1 trillion market cap, but over the next 10 years, I actually think that is still too aggressive. It might take a lot longer than 10 years for them to hit this overall milestone, but regardless, if you are a long-term investor and you're planning to hold this company for over 10 years, then you have plenty of time to wait for this company to grow into their overall valuation. Right now, Palantir is already trading at a high PE ratio and a high PS ratio. Therefore, their accounting ratios are speaking against their current share price, and eventually they will need to increase their metrics in both their earnings as well as their revenue, so these metrics and accounting ratios can become more digestible for investors. That's why we always need to be wary of a pullback in this stock. But overall, Palantir Technologies is still a fantastically fundamental company. I personally hold this company, but I don't advocate to invest more than a 5% initial portfolio allocation to this company, meaning that if your portfolio is worth $100,000, you would not want to invest more than $5,000 into this company. And once you invest that $5,000, either all at once in a lump sum, or if you dollar cost average that $5,000, into this company over months or years, then you wouldn't want to add any more. You would just let it ride for the long term so you can get value from this company. But now let's jump back into this article and let me agree with the author again, where the author says that this is not going to happen overnight, and for Palantir to achieve that $1 trillion valuation, it's going to take a decade or so, meaning a decade or longer, and I would advocate it's going to take a little longer than a decade to get to this amazing milestone, because there are only a handful of companies that have ever reached that $1 trillion market cap valuation, and I think Palantir could potentially be one of them, but we need to give them a lot of time, considering that it's already taken this company over 20 years just to hit a market cap of around $43 billion. We also need to take into consideration management's projection for this company, to where management says that the demand for their AI platforms is unlike anything they have ever seen in the past 20 years. You should also be aware that although artificial intelligence and machine learning gives Palantir a huge market opportunity, Palantir's specific opportunity is actually a lot less than these estimates, because these estimates for artificial intelligence is worldwide and international. However, Palantir Technologies only does business with the West and Western allies, meaning that they are going to only achieve a sliver of that $6 trillion opportunity, which was estimated by Goldman Sachs. So even given this opportunity and Palantir's expertise in the area, it's going to take a long time for Palantir to achieve that $1 trillion valuation. However, during the time in which Palantir is trying to achieve that milestone, their share price is going to be very volatile, but if you're planning to hold this company for more than a decade, we could see a very positive trend for this company over the next 10 years, which is phenomenal, and that's why I personally hold this company in my portfolio. We also want to shed some light on a very prominent investor talking positively about Palantir, and that would be Deepwater Asset Management's own Gene Munster, who is a very accomplished investor. For instance, he has recently highlighted 4 companies who are publicly traded that could absolutely explode in their overall share price, and these companies are trading at a market cap below $50 billion. And those companies would include CrowdStrike Holdings, Palantir Technologies, Zillow Group, as well as Etsy. And right now, we just want to focus on Palantir Technologies as well as CrowdStrike. If you didn't know, I recently did a video on CrowdStrike Holdings, so go ahead and feel free to watch that video, because I do go in depth about this company and I really like them, and it's nice to see how Gene Munster says CrowdStrike is an under-the-radar company concerning cybersecurity companies, and even right now they have surged by around 6.7%, and this is most likely due to very positive earnings recently, and Palantir Technologies is also increasing in their overall share price close to 2.33%. So in the end, CrowdStrike Holdings as well as Palantir Technologies are on a fantastic growth trajectory, and I think they could do wonders in your portfolio, but always make sure to do your own research and your own due diligence before making any investment decision. Also, feel free to look into Zillow Group and Etsy, because Gene Munster also believes that these companies could 2x or 3x over the next year, and that would include all of these companies. He believes CrowdStrike, Palantir, Zillow, Etsy, and even a privately held lithium-ion battery company named Redwood Materials could literally double or triple in their prices over the next year, which would be insane. However, I'm a little more skeptical and conservative because I am a very risk-averse investor, but in the end, these are very fundamentally strong companies, but the ones I would bet on would be CrowdStrike as well as Palantir. With that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Don't forget to go and comment down below what you think of Palantir Technologies as well as CrowdStrike. Do you think Palantir Technologies could achieve a $1 trillion market cap, putting their share price close to $447? I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to go and annihilate that like button right now. Subscribe if you are new. Don't forget to become a member of this channel for as little as 99 cents per month. And with all of that being said, I wish you the best of luck and happy investing.